Taylor Swift's new album, The Life of a Showgirl, it is about to drop, and we are more than ready for it.
And while Swifties everywhere are counting down, we can't help but think back to how the record-breaking Eras Tour opened right here in Glendale, Arizona.
And turns out it is not the first time that she has launched a tour here. Glendale has become a favorite for many major shows. But why do artists pick this city over and over again?
That's exactly what we're here to find out today. Welcome to Game On Glendale AZ, our new podcast where the communications team breaks down the city's playbook and highlights the people and amenities that keep us in the big leagues. I'm Jessica Mensch.
And I'm Sue Bredding. Today, we are thrilled to have Ralph Marchetta with us. He is the Regional Vice President of Entertainment for Legends Global.
He's the man who books all the shows at State Farm Stadium and Desert Diamond Arena. Basically the one making sure every tour is, as Taylor would say, bejeweled. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So we're going to kick off with a very fun quiz for you just to find out how much of a Glendale Swiftie you really are, Ralph. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Question number 1. How many tours has Taylor Swift performed in Glendale? Is it 4, 5, or is it 6?
I'm going to go with 6.
Ding, 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 right on the money.
Right.
And actually, that's every tour that she's been on has stopped right here in Glendale.
She loves Glendale.
And you may remember, we love her too, because when she came here to launch her Eras Tour, we actually renamed our city in her honor. What did we rename ourselves to? Was it Taylorville, Swift City, or Glendale, Taylor's version?
I do remember this, and at the time, it was amazing how big it really became.
Yes.
And all of the, dare I say, global attention that attracted. I'm going to go with Swift City, if memory serves.
Yes, that is correct. Very good.
All
That's
right.
the one.
That was a lot of fun. It surprised us as well.
It was just such a unique tribute to her, and I think it just really kind of caught everybody.
Other cities even started to do their own little tributes to her, so
They
we
did.
had a lot of fun with it.
They did.
And finally, what is the most unusual request that a star has ever asked you for, Ralph Marchetta, backstage? Is it a new toilet seat, a large prickly pear cactus, or spring water from Switzerland chilled to 51 degrees?
That is an easy one. It's the new toilet seat with a receipt.
So
with a receipt. So yes, that is a true story, true request. And that ranks right up there for sure.
So
All right, what's his score, Jess?
you've come to the end of our quiz, and you got them all right. I think it's official.
So now we have settled your Swiftie status.
I appreciate that.
So let's dive into your role.
Okay.
What goes into booking stars like Taylor Swift into a stadium, Ralph?
It can be a fairly long process, right? The pinnacle, obviously, is a stadium show. When you're talking about people, production size, ticket sales, and those will book out a year, 2 years in advance, typically. We are really plugged into that process. We hear what's going on out there. We connect with the promoters, the agents, other stadiums. I have a call every week with stadium operators in different cities and different markets, and we compare notes. And then we initiate that contact and we say, hey, State Farm Stadium is the place to be. This tour needs to play here. And that kind of
That's you,
starts
Ralph?
it.
That's you saying that?
I say that all the time. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's really what we try to do is understand who is going to be touring, what their potential routing may look like, make sure that we are putting our best forward in terms of getting an artist to play here.
How do you do that? I mean, what do those negotiations look like?
It's all about the money. No, it's, it is, at the end of the day, the deal part of it is pretty important, but there are other things that an artist may consider. We are in a top market in the U.S., so that is a big plus for us. Geographically where we're located, that is a big plus for us. the reputation that we have as a market. And so
Right.
State Farm Stadium, Desert Diamond Arena, these facilities have great reputations in the business. And so that's important too, and that helps.
And so getting an artist to actually start here to open a tour.
Yeah.
Taylor's now done
Yeah.
it twice at State Farm Stadium.
Yeah.
Plenty of other big names have as well.
Yeah.
Why do you think that they pick Glendale?
Well, I think, a number of reasons. Part of it is the reputation that we have. So world-class facilities, world-class people that operate the facilities. And then there are other factors. So there's geography, right? We're close to Los Angeles, but we're not Los Angeles. We're not as expensive as Los Angeles. So, a lot of those things can kind of enter into it. And the fact that the turf, rolls out the back door and we have the ability to do that is a huge, huge factor in our favor. Because any other scenario, the field's got to be covered. It's got to be protected. There's a huge cost that's associated with that. Ours isn't quite as easy as pushing a remote, but the fact that turf rolls out and you've got a concrete floor and you can pull semis right onto it, it's a huge plus. At the end of the day, I think those are all part of it. So our location, our cost, our people, our market, all of those things kind of enter into that process.
Ralph, how did you get into this line of work? Was booking shows always your dream?
In a way, I think it might have been always my dream. But I started out in the parking lot of the Coliseum
Awesome.
at the State
Wow.
Fairgrounds. So my first summer out of high school, I had a propane torch and a jackhammer, and I blacktopped the parking lot. And
did.
I did every job there was to do at the Coliseum. I pushed a broom, I drove a forklift, I set stages, I worked security, I worked in the ticket office, I was an usher. Best job ever, I sold concert T-shirts. This is back in the 80s
You were
when
the merch guy.
concert T-shirts were like $15. So I did all the shows at the Coliseum, and then I did the shows down in Tucson, and I worked my way through ASU. And when I graduated from ASU, they offered me an internship, and I became an assistant event manager, and then an event manager, and then I opened up America West Arena downtown, and then I moved into the booking,
Okay.
and I booked America West Arena and Dodge Theater, and then I moved into a GM role on the arena side, but I never completely got out of the booking part of it, because that's the part of it that to me is the most exciting. And that's the part of it that I always loved. It's the relationships. It's kind of putting a deal together. And if I go back to 17 years old in the parking lot of the Coliseum, it was, I love music and I love sports, and I'm not a musician and I'm not an athlete. How do I get around this? There's got to be a thing here. And that's really what kind of started me on the path. But now I feel like I've come full circle back to the booking side of it, because that for me is the part of the business that I've always enjoyed.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a journey.
Yeah.
It's been a great ride. It has been an amazing ride, especially as a fan, because ultimately I am a fan. And when those house lights go out and I hear that crowd roar, I still get a chill.
Yeah.
I do. And feeling like I played a small part in making that happen is the best feeling in the world.
It's amazing. And,
So that's my story.
That's awesome.
and you talk about what it's like being a fan. Sue and I were big fans of Taylor Swift, part of why we wanted to talk to you today. And we actually went to opening night of the Eras Tour. It
Yeah.
was electric.
Yes. We had no idea what we were going to see, and neither did anyone else.
So sitting there, it really felt like a Broadway production. I wonder what that's like on your end,
Yeah.
launching a tour of that size with all of the
Sure.
set pieces, all of that. What's
Yeah.
that like for you and your team?
It's a lot. I mean, it is long days, long hours. And, I tell people all the time, it's not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5.
Right.
And so, especially with a tour like that, you're talking about 90 semis and hundreds of people and a huge effort that goes into making something like that happen, not just once,
Right.
but then taking it on the road and touring it, and not just around the United States, around the world. So it is the behind the scenes part of it, to actually see it happen and see it come together, is amazing. And it's something that I'll never tire of witnessing, because it's incredible.
And you're there on those show days, right? Kind of acting as a liaison?
Yeah. And when I started, it was, I'd be there at 8 a.m. and I'd get out at 2 or 3 the next morning, and that was kind of the life. And I've modified my hours a little bit now, but yeah, I'm still, I still want to be there and have to be there. I couldn't not be there, I guess.
So here's a fun fact for you, Ralph. In about 2006, I met Taylor Swift. I was a TV news reporter, and I interviewed her for a story. And she was 16 years old, and yet she was so articulate, and she was so poised, and she seemed so genuine. And her focus, her laser focus, was on songwriting. She talked about that, and writing her own songs, playing her own songs. That was really, really important to her. And she told me that she was just about to open for George Strait.
Yes.
So that was around the same time period that you began to come aware of her.
It is.
And does my description of her clock with what you have heard and you have experienced with her over the years?
No, it does 100%. And, I had worked a lot of George Strait shows. His tours were always huge, and I do remember that when she was opening up for him, and I was like, wow, who is this? And it was pretty apparent even then that she was special and a phenom when it came to songwriting and performing, and just, I think I certainly can't claim that I would predict, this is where things would lead, but even back then, I think it was really apparent how big she was going to be ultimately.
So she performed at State Farm Stadium. We also have Desert Diamond Arena. And for people who haven't been to our city, they might not realize that this is right in the middle of this beautiful sports and entertainment district. We have bars and restaurants and activities like Topgolf. How does that help you when you're going to attract concerts?
Well, it does. And, it is a big part of what I am talking about is really this entire entertainment district that's been created here. It's amazing to me how, even in the last 10 years, how it has just developed and grown. So you've got this centralized hub of the best of sports and entertainment and music. And there's an artist that we have coming. And, we've talked about, hey, over at Andretti, we'll set up some kart racing, or, maybe we'll set up some pickleball, or, so all of these kind of amenities that are around these facilities are things that, that we try to use if the crew has a night off.
Okay.
So
not just for the fans, but also for the stars.
For the stars, for the
Right.
crews. Mm-hmm. So, it's, the competition is crazy, particularly on the music side, on the concert side.
Okay.
So all of these things help us tell that story and make us a more desirable location.
I love that.
Who's your biggest competition? Who do you really want to beat out more than anyone?
Well, my old home downtown is certainly the biggest competition.
Okay.
So I was there for 32 years, and
Okay.
I love the competitive aspect of it.
Yeah.
You're riding high when you get a show, and you're pretty depressed when you don't. But
But hey, Ralph, look who you just got. You just got Lady Gaga for 2 nights, Desert Diamond Arena. What what else? So in your with your show booker friends, what is the buzz about what might be coming over the course of the next year that you can tell us without getting yourself in trouble?
Yeah, sure.
Who are you going after?
Talking in very general, terms of who may or may not be out there. Ed Sheeran is hopefully going to be doing stadiums next year.
Okay.
MGK is doing arenas. Bruno Mars, there's talk about him doing stadiums. Parker McCollum doing arenas. It's amazing. I mean, it's actually shaping up to be, I think, a really good year next year. And, in stadium world, there's a lot going on with the FIFA World Cup in some different cities.
Oh, for sure.
So we don't have a World Cup match here, but in a lot of ways, it kind of helps us on the concert side. So we do have, some additional availability that does help us. So, certainly working to take advantage of that as well. Yeah.
Thinking of the last year, was there one where you were just, yes, I did it?
Benson Boone, I think that was
sold out before anyone could even buy tickets.
It was crazy.
Okay.
Benson Boone, Chris Stapleton for the two shows that we did with him.
Yes.
Those were really big. Those shows in general felt really good. And Lady Gaga for 2 in February of next year. Those are going to be amazing as well. So
I think we've got some shows we're going to need to go see, Sue.
We sure are.
More to come.
Nice.
More to
Ralph.
come.
Thank you.
Okay.
So do you have a favorite artist or show that you've been involved in booking?
Yes. And I mean, I guess it goes to the fanboy in me, but the booking side too. But I'm a huge U2 fan.
Okay.
So they were my
awesome.
favorite band, going back to high school. And
okay. Did you see them in high school?
I saw them I've seen them 30 times.
No.
30 times.
Since 1985.
Okay. Do they know this?
Probably. Probably. But I've been fortunate enough to meet them a couple times. I've seen them in Europe. I've seen them all over the U.S. Went to a couple of the Sphere shows. But anytime I've booked them, that is like for me, that's kind of the ultimate.
They're so cool.
Are you sort of trying to hold yourself back from fangirling? You don't want to be too eager?
I do have to, kind of reel it in a little bit, so I don't want to hurt my negotiating position. So I do try to reel that in.
Do you wear a merch shirt or do you wear regular clothes?
I try to wear regular clothes.
Okay.
But, it's part of how I think music connects with people. Sure. and how live live performances are kind of irreplaceable in spite of
100%.
technology. It's still that feeling of being at a live event.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Okay, so you wear regular clothes when you go to see U2. We're actually fangirling today. If you are listening and not watching, we are wearing Life of a Showgirl shirts.
We had to celebrate our girl.
Yeah.
And along those lines, we got to know, as Swifties ourselves, what is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
That is a really hard question. I would have to say Cruel Summer. That's
a really good
I love
one.
that song.
Yes.
I do.
Yes. It's a hard question because, Taylor Swift, she is all sorts of different songs.
Yes. Sad songs, fast songs, short songs, long songs, the 10-minute, All Too Well. That's one of my favorites because of the writing is unbelievable. Yeah. Well, Ralph Marchetta, thank you so much for being with us. What a great way to kick off our very first episode.
Well, thank you guys very much. I really enjoyed it. And I appreciate the invitation.
We had so much fun getting this backstage view. You can subscribe to Game On Glendale AZ on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Video versions of our episodes are available on the City of Glendale's YouTube and Facebook pages.
And we'll be back in the game with another episode soon. See you then.